In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on April 1st, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Portland Trail Blazers versus Orlando Magic. On the basketball court, there's an intriguing matchup brewing between teams from different conferences. One team finds itself far from the playoff picture, while the other stands solidly within it. The clash is set in the Sunshine State as the Portland Trail Blazers hit the road to face off against the Orlando Magic on Monday night. Portland's previous outing ended in a disastrous 142-82 loss to Miami on the road, where they failed to cover the 14-point underdog line. Meanwhile, Orlando dominated Memphis 118-88 at home in their recent game, covering the 13-point favorite line. In their historical regular season encounters, the Trail Blazers hold a 40-28 edge over the Magic. However, Orlando secured a 102-97 road victory in their first meeting of the season back on October 27, 2023. Despite Portland's struggles, with key players like Malcolm Brogdon, Jerami Grant, and Anthony Simons sidelined due to injuries, Orlando enters the matchup with a clean injury report. The Trail Blazers, depleted by injuries, currently find themselves among the league's weakest teams, while the Magic ride a wave of success with a fully healthy roster. Throughout the season, Portland has faced consistent challenges, especially with multiple starters absent, including their top scorers Simons and Grant. Orlando, on the other hand, has demonstrated resilience and depth, evident in their recent victory over Memphis. The Trail Blazers' struggles extend beyond injuries, as they face difficulty maintaining competitiveness on a nightly basis. Their recent 60-point defeat against Miami underscores their current predicament, having dropped 9 consecutive games by an average margin of 17 points. Orlando boasts an impressive record against the spread this season, standing at 48-26, making them the NBA top cover team with a cover percentage of 64.8%. In contrast, Portland's mounting losses and inability to cover spreads paint a grim picture for the team's prospects. With the Trail Blazers' recent blowout loss and evident struggles, it's evident that they're eagerly anticipating the season's conclusion. Meanwhile, Orlando remains in strong form, aiming to secure favorable playoff seeding, and is poised to dispatch their struggling opponents convincingly, much like their recent victory over the Grizzlies. Considering Portland's ongoing woes and Orlando's favorable circumstances, including home court advantage and full health, the Orlando Magic to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Portland's tendency to fall short of expectations, coupled with Orlando's strengths, make betting against the Magic or supporting the Trail Blazers unwise. Looking at the season statistics, Portland has frequently fallen short of surpassing the set totals in their games, doing so in only 36 out of 74 matchups. Additionally, their struggles with turnovers, ranking 28th in the league, and below average pace further contribute to their challenges. Conversely, Orlando has surpassed the set totals in 32 out of 74 games this season. Despite their own turnover issues and below-average pace, they have the advantage in this matchup. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Atlanta Hawks versus Chicago Bulls. The Atlanta Hawks are gearing up for a showdown against the Chicago Bulls in their final match of the season series. So far, the Bulls hold a 2-0 lead, having secured a 136-126 victory over the Hawks back on February 12th. The Hawks had their 3-game winning streak halted by the Bucks last Saturday. As of now, Atlanta firmly holds the 10th spot in the Eastern Conference, trailing the Bulls by just 1.5 games. The Bulls, on the other hand, managed to secure a significant upset win against the Timberwolves on the road, which slightly widened the gap between them and the Hawks. Prior to their recent loss to the Bucks, the Atlanta Hawks were on a 4-game winning spree. However, their momentum came to a halt with a 122-113 defeat against the Bucks. Bogdan Bogdanovic led the team with an impressive performance, amassing 38 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. DeJounte Murray also contributed significantly with 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 12 assists, while DeAndre Hunter pitched in with 13 points. Despite their efforts, the Hawks struggled to keep pace early on, shooting 45% from the field and 14 of 35 from the three-point line. They faced a challenging deficit, falling behind by as much as 21 points before mounting a late comeback with 39 points in the fourth quarter. Following this game, the Hawks are slated to take on the Pistons. Meanwhile, the Chicago Bulls have been experiencing a mixed bag of results, winning 2 out of their last 3 games. They're aiming to maintain their winning streak after a notable 109-101 upset road victory against the Timberwolves. DeMar DeRozan led the charge with 27 points and 8 assists, supported by Alex Caruso's 21 points and Nikola Vucevic's 19 points. The Bulls exhibited strong offensive prowess, shooting 52% from the field and 17 of 29 from beyond the arc. Despite establishing an early 16-point lead with 33 points in the first quarter, they faced a challenge in maintaining their advantage. However, their solid defensive efforts in the final minutes sealed the win. The Bulls are scheduled to face off against the Knicks and Magic in their upcoming games. The Atlanta Hawks are still dealing with the absence of key players such as Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, and Onyeka Okongwu, while the Bulls are missing Jalen Phillips and Patrick Williams. The Hawks were showcasing some of their best basketball before their recent setback against the Bucks, whereas the Bulls displayed resilience in their gritty win over the Timberwolves. Although the Hawks have been performing well lately, they've struggled in their matchups against the Bulls this season. DeMar DeRozan has been particularly dominant against the Hawks, and the Bulls' previous encounter saw them scoring 136 points. Chicago has also been effective in controlling the boards and paint on both ends of the floor, leaving the Hawks struggling to respond. It's expected that DeRozan and the Bulls will capitalize on the Hawks' injury-riddled lineup for another strong offensive showing. Despite having the rest advantage, the Hawks have been inconsistent throughout the season and currently hold the title for the worst cover team in the NBA. In contrast, the Bulls are riding high after their recent upset victory over the Timberwolves and have an opportunity to further distance themselves from the Hawks in the Eastern Conference standings. Moreover, the Bulls have emerged victorious in 4 out of their last 5 matchups against the Hawks. Considering these factors, the Chicago Bulls to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. However, the Bulls will be on a back-to-back, which often leads to a drop in defensive intensity due to fatigue. This could pose a challenge against the Hawks, who possess the 8th best offense in the league. Additionally, the potential absence of key players like Caruso and Dosunmu on the perimeter may further exacerbate Chicago's defensive struggles. DeRozan, not known for his consistent defense, might find it challenging to contain the likes of Murray and Bogdanovic, who have been putting up impressive numbers in recent games. Both teams have been trending towards high-scoring games, with the Hawks going over in their last 7 outings and the Bulls hitting the over in 7 of their last 9 games. This indicates that defensive issues persist for Chicago, while the Hawks continue to rack up points. Throughout the season, the Hawks have struggled defensively, allowing the Bulls to average 127 points per game against them. Despite the Bulls not playing at a particularly fast pace, they have capitalized on mismatches and dominated inside the paint. Meanwhile, the Hawks have been on a scoring spree, even managing to put up 123 points against one of the league's top defensive teams. Murray and Bogdanovic have been in exceptional form, consistently carrying the scoring load for the Hawks. Given these factors, it's likely that both teams will continue their trend of high-scoring affairs, making over the projected total our full game total pick. Phoenix Suns vs. New Orleans Pelicans. The Suns and Pelicans are gearing up for the first of their 2 matchups this week, scheduled for Monday night in New Orleans. The Suns, with a record of 42-31 straight up and 30-42-2 against the spread, endured a tough outing in Oklahoma City on Friday, absorbing a 128-103 defeat as -3 favorites. Meanwhile, the Pelicans, standing at 45-29 straight up and 40-32-2 against the spread, faced a setback at home against Boston on Saturday, falling 104-92 as +6 underdogs. Following a series of ups and downs, the Phoenix Suns find themselves in a fairly stable position, having secured victories in 4 of their last 6 games. However, their recent road loss against the Thunder with a final score of 128-103 came as a shock. Kevin Durant led the charge for the Suns, contributing 26 points on 10 of 17 shooting, while Bradley Beal and Grayson Allen added 15 and 13 points respectively. Despite their efforts, the Suns struggled to contain the Thunder's ball movement, finding themselves in a perpetual state of catch-up after a second-quarter deficit. Notably, their bench support was lacking, and they sorely missed a stronger performance from Devin Booker, who managed only 14 points. On the other hand, the New Orleans Pelicans have been enjoying a relatively good run, clinching victories in 10 of their last 14 games. Nevertheless, their recent encounter with the Celtics resulted in a disappointing 104-92 loss. Zion Williamson led the Pelicans with 25 points and 9 rebounds, supported by C.J. McCollum with 24 points and Herbert Jones with 18. Despite starting strong with a 37-point first quarter and an early 11-point lead, the Pelicans struggled to maintain momentum, scoring only 20 and 11 points in the second and third quarters respectively. Trey Murphy's quiet game and minimal contribution from the bench further compounded their challenges. Looking ahead, the Pelicans are set to face the Magic after this matchup. As the Suns prepare for the game, they continue to face roster challenges with Damian Lee sidelined. Similarly, the Pelicans are missing key players Brandon Ingram and Jose Alvarado. Recent encounters between these teams have favored the Suns, who have emerged victorious in the last 2 meetings, including their most recent clash in New Orleans. Furthermore, the Suns have won 5 of the last 7 matchups and maintained a 5-2 against the spread record. Conversely, the Pelicans have struggled, losing 3 of their last 4 against the spread. Reflecting on their current form, the Suns have won 4 of their last 6 against the spread, albeit with a streaky performance on the road, alternating wins and losses in their last 8 games. In their sole meeting earlier this season, the Suns secured a 14-point victory on the road as plus 2.5 underdogs. With both teams vying for favorable positions in the playoffs, the absence of Brandon Ingram looms large for the Pelicans, given his significant contributions as the team's second leading scorer and top distributor. Considering these factors, the Suns appear poised to capitalize on their healthier lineup and recent dominance over the Pelicans. With the playoffs looming, every game carries significant weight, and the Suns are determined to secure a win to bolster their standing. Despite the Pelicans' home advantage, recent inconsistencies and key absences may tilt the scales in favor of the Suns. Therefore, the Phoenix Suns to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Looking at the historical data, the previous matchup between these teams saw a combined total of 232 points, falling under the projected total of 238 points. With Brandon Ingram sidelined, the scoring dynamics are expected to shift significantly in their upcoming encounter. Both teams exhibit moderate pace, with the Suns ranking 15th and the Pelicans 16th in terms of pace. As the Suns conclude a grueling 5-game road stretch, fatigue may play a factor, while the Pelicans aim to capitalize on their home court advantage. However, recent offensive struggles for both teams suggest a likelihood of scoring below the projected total. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.